So a key part of this research project that we undertook was to figure out just how it was that effective unit leaders were able to make the transition to effective enterprise leadership. We found it was fascinating. What we discovered from interviewing over 40 executives from all around the world was that these leaders were able to tap into a whole series of enablers that let them make the transition from effective unit leader to effective enterprise leader much more readily. We found that this was really a matter of cultivating an enterprise leadership mindset more than anything. So they had to retain the skill of a builder, but combine that with the mindset of enterprise first thinking. We found that that by being able to absorb their company's culture, they were able to develop a deeper sense of place. That sense of place enabled them to communicate a story about how special their organizations were, and it also provided them not only with a source of excitement, but simultaneously with a source of humility. In addition, through deep personal self-inquiry, each of these leaders was able to develop a stronger sense of purpose. And by translating this self-inquiry into purpose, it enabled the leaders to develop a personal alignment of their meaning with the purpose of the enterprise. It was very powerful. Each of these leaders, by engaging in cross-boundary experiences, also developed a very powerful sense of context. They were able to see how the different components of the company fit together. In addition to that, it gave them a broader worldview so that they could put in context their company's mission with what was going on around them in the broader global context. And it was very, very important to have that sense. To a person, each one felt that sense of context was critical. Each one also felt that by being involved in coaching, in mentoring, and by observing not only their peers and their bosses, but their subordinates, that they developed a much more powerful sense of perspective. That perspective gave them the capacity to think more deeply, to not sweat the small stuff in a sense. And the fifth thing that they were able to do is by cultivating a whole series of networks, they were able to build a very powerful sense of community. That community enabled them to get things done through others and with others much more effectively than any individual skill effort could allow them to do. And the sixth and last thing was that by integrating all of these other components, they were able to develop a much stronger, more resilient sense of self. And the resiliency factor, above all, I think was something that was one of the key characteristics of an effective enterprise leader. They were able to course correct, they were agile, they were able to be disciplined, but while they were still leading transformation and change. And each one of them said this sense of resiliency was one of the critical components that led to the effectiveness of their capacity to be an enterprise leader.